You're listening to the Media Man Dan podcast, your place for music, movies, news, reviews, and interviews. Welcome to the show. Get ready to rock. Let's rock! What's up, guys? I'm Media Man Dan, and today I am joined by the incredible band, the Failsafe. We have two awesome members of the band with us today, Mr. Kaio and Mr. Chad of the band. That's our lead guitarist with Kaio and our drummer, Chad. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
Doing awesome, man. Yeah, glad to be here.
It's cold and windy out where we are, but you know, that's Minnesota for you.
We're inside and warm and not out in the snow, so that's always a blessing.
Nothing melting up there?
It was, and now we call it fake spring. So usually in February we get nicer weather for like a few days or weeks, and then we get like another snowstorm out of nowhere. And yeah, I think we're supposed to get like 20 plus inches for the next few days. So
20 inches. Oh dear.
Yeah, winter storm warning and all that shit. So
I'm gonna tease you, and then I'm gonna give you a forearm shiver. Basically, what's gonna happen.
I can understand the spring though in Chicagoland. We definitely are feeling that this year, but we're definitely not as cold and we don't get as much snow. I could say that is a great blessing. But I think there also is a winter storm warning for this Friday as well. How is life in general? How are you? How is the year going so far?
Pretty good. Yeah, it's been a really good start to the year for the band. We've got a lot of stuff in the works. We just announced a tour that we're doing in March. We just announced that a couple weeks ago. So we're going to be going throughout the Midwest. Unfortunately, we're not going to be playing in Chicago for once. Usually we do.
I saw that. It's okay.
Yeah.
No worries.
Yeah. But
you are going to Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, Milwaukee. We've never played there before, so that'll be awesome to get there for the first time. And also we're playing in Ohio for the first time. We've never been there.
Oh, nice.
Either. So yeah, so we're trying to break into some new markets. So, and yeah, we've got a lot of new music in the works. So it's just been staying busy with the tour plans and then working on music. So yeah.
Sick. My biggest question when it comes to your music is, are we looking forward to an EP or an LP this year?
It'll be an EP. Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
It just doesn't really make sense to do like a full album release nowadays. Like I mean, honestly, to get exposure and to get the algorithms right on certain playlists and try to get, your song, in certain places, it just makes more sense to do singles. Now, ultimately, we can combine the singles and maybe add a few extra tracks and release that. But I mean, I don't know, Kyle, do you think we'll ever do another full length again? I don't know.
I mean, it depends, how big we get. I mean, I think it honestly, for bands like us, it makes more sense to do EPs and just single releases.
Yeah.
Because every song you put out is a chance to blow up, basically. Like all you need is one song to pop off on TikTok. Everybody starts sharing it.
Yeah.
And then boom, you're in the mainstream.
Yeah.
But as for larger artists, like it actually, one interesting thing that has been happening is like a lot of big like pop and country artists have been putting out like super long albums with like 30 plus songs on them.
Yep.
Because they're trying to break streaming records. And
that's what they're doing.
Because a lot of times what happens with those artists is like they've got so many fans that just want to stream the album. They'll just put it on play and they might not even be listening to it, but it'll just play and then it just racks up the streaming numbers because it plays all the way through. And you could put 10 songs on an album or you could put 30, and you triple your streams basically.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So that's like one strategy that a lot of artists are doing right now.
That's
That's probably a ways off for us.
Well, I would love to have that problem. That would be a good good situation to walk into. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a good goal though.
Yeah.
Definitely. For the bigger artists, like you were saying, with the market, with social media, how things have changed, TikTok, like that, blowing up songs, the full length, as you were saying, Chad, is less of a priority for a lot of artists. I'm just reiterating that because in my mind, with all of the CDs behind me, it's like crushing my soul to know that like albums are becoming less and less of a thing, and more people are getting more comfortable with singles at a time. But
Yeah.
I do understand, because like you get a first track that you haven't heard from a band in a while, and you're like, wow, I'm just going to play this nonstop. So of course the streaming numbers are going to go up for that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we're kind of in the era of instant gratification, to where it's like if we're not relevant, if we don't have something every 3 months or something like that, it's so easy for us to be forgotten and dismissed. So it's like we got to feed the beast as much as we can.
All right. How did you guys come up with the name The Failsafe?
I think it was my idea originally, and we were just kind of spitballing ideas, and I don't know how I thought of it. It just, popped in my head one day, and then it was the name that everyone hated the least. So we just rolled with it. So
that works out perfect. Also, I see in
Yeah.
my mind, I was like, oh, he had some error on the computer, and it was like activate this fail safe, and you're like, that's it. That's the name that we needed.
I wish, man. That'd be cool.
But that's good that everybody was pretty mutual on taking this name in.
It's kind of funny because people are like, what's the meaning behind it? What is it? Where was it come from? What was the inspiration? It's like it was the one we hated the least on the list that we randomly came up with.
Didn't do a random name generator or anything like that.
Thought about it. I think I did for funsies, but
I mean, I think I definitely did just to see what would come out. Sometimes you get gold. I mean, honestly, like these days, if I were to come up with a new band name, I'd run it through Chat GPT and see what it told me.
That is not a bad idea for anybody that's trying to start a band right now. That's probably the best thing is don't put yourself through so much stress. Just say, all right, this doesn't sound good, and mutually agree on it, of course.
Yeah.
What genre would you guys consider yourselves? I saw the Spotify bio, but has that changed over time? Electronic rock?
I'm gonna go with like dance folk metal, but that's just my
I don't know about the folk, but honestly, like if I had to like give it like one name, like I definitely think we fall into many different genres depending on the song, but I just say probably post-hardcore. Like it's kind of an umbrella term that a lot of bands fall into, but I'd say that's the most accurate one that describes us overall.
Yeah.
I mean, the best description because from a lot of people that don't know music that I have to go with is like, have you heard of this band? No. Have you heard of this band? No. Have you heard of this band? No. It's like, okay, well, Linkin Park, because most people at least have heard.
Yeah,
of
that's
Park.
what I tell. Anytime I have to explain our band to a boomer, I say we're kind of like Linkin Park, but more like modern. So,
I'm like, we're Linkin Park on steroids, is what we're like,
yeah.
The people that would be elitists when it comes to the Linkin Park fan base, they would be like, excuse me, what did you just say about Linkin Park? But right. I get that. Yeah. New metal, post-hardcore, I'd say hard rock as well. I definitely hear some hard rock on the first album, at least. The vocal style definitely reminds me of Papa Roach, and I think I said that in all of the reactions that I did to you guys. It's awesome. Regardless, Jesse is definitely very unique and sounds so close to Jacoby that I was hoping that they would be on a track together, just so I could see.
Oh man, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, kind of funny. Like, ironically, like on a song that we're working on, like I modeled kind of my mix vibe after Papa Roach's more recent stuff. So I think it's kind of funny that you mentioned that, because it's like, oh yeah, that's exactly kind of in our wheelhouse in terms of where we're looking at and going. So
awesome. Are you guys going for like Face Everything and Rise kind of album, or the more recent one?
I forget the name of the song that and I shame on me, but like I was just going through some playlists and stuff, and I forget. I could see the video in my head. It's like the one where they're just like at like a random spot, and there's just like a bunch of people around. Not Last Resort, obviously. They've done a couple of those style videos.
Yeah.
I'm totally blanking on the name, but that was more or less my mix reference.
Hey, it's all good, man. So are you saying that you are producing the music or mixing the music, or is that for your drum mix?
Well, no, we all produce. I'd say like everyone in this band wears like a producer hat, especially like Kyle and Jesse are the primary songwriters for the band. I'll chime in here and there whenever I can, but Jesse's just lives and dies by the hook, and so he knows how to come up with good hooks. Kyle is just so good at guitar, it makes me puke. So he just comes up with like these tasty riffs. But then in terms of the actual, and then I'll throw in my drum parts or whatever else, and then Devin's been contributing to the new songwriting aspect as well. And then lyrically, we've actually changed it up over for the last song moving forward because of a producer that we worked with. He really challenged us to do more cohesive lyric writing, which was, I think, a change for all of us. And I think it worked out pretty gosh darn good.
Yeah, to kind of expand on that, our most recent song we put out, Ghost of You, was co-written and produced with Sahaj Tikotin of the band Ra. He's also worked with like a lot of like big bands like Nothing More, Motley Crue, Starset.
Okay.
Yeah.
That like, yep. I was like, Ra, who's Ra? But you just named those three, and I was like, oh hell yeah.
But like, yeah, I don't know if we'll work with him again. We'd love to, but he's a busy dude and he's hard to get a hold of. So we'll see.
But it taught us a ton of like, especially how to approach songwriting. And so it was almost less about the engineering and the stuff like that. It was really more so about the song. Like, how do we, the running joke is, will the hot girl at the bar listen to this? And so like, if we come up with something to be like, will the hot girl at the bar like this, like pay attention to this riff? Yes or no? Keep it or trash it. Will the hot girl at the bar be intrigued by this lyric, or like, will it, or is it too complicated or too simple? And so that was kind of the running joke, was hot girl at the bar, will that intrigue them? And plus it was just, I mean, I took pages of notes in my phone. Like, I just learned a ton from this guy, from Sahaj, in terms of just from a songwriting standpoint. It was just a really great learning experience, which in turn, I think stuff that we self-produce, or even if we work with another producer, just really got our brains working on a different level to how to just improve what we create in terms of music. So it was a really awesome experience. Most of the work, with the exception of the most recent Signal, we did everything in-house. And my job in the band is kind of like the audio guys. So like, I handle the tracking and the editing and the mixing and stuff like that. But we all have our places in the band. So it's like, it's honestly the most well-oiled machine band I've ever been in, period. And I've been in a bunch of bands. And so it's really nice how we all have our place. And when all the gears turn, the whole machine moves,
Definitely. And I'm glad that you guys are all contributing to this, and that you have knowledge in your own ways for every part of the production process.
Yeah.
It works extremely well that way, when it's not just one guy holding everything all together. Like, I got to put this whole master together, but I need you to re-record this and you to re-record this. So as Kyle was saying before, you guys are in different areas as well, and you're like virtually recording things, sending like files to each other to get this all mixed. So it does sound like you're all in one room, especially on some of the songs. I'll say that, like, Remind Me I'm Alive, I was like, wow, this is incredible. That's such a different sound. There's so much more that you guys are showing off with your style on that one. And I do like the mix of rapcore a bit in there as well. It's definitely got more lyrical value that can fit into that new metal style.
It's kind of a interesting, because the first album we put out, Erasing Color, we were basically rushing to get that done as quickly as possible, because me, Chad, and then our singer Jesse used to play together in a different band called the Phoenix Philosophy.
Oh.
And we literally started the Failsafe like the day after that band broke up. So
talk about going right into the next project. Holy shit.
Yeah. And so basically we just like hit the ground running, and we're like, okay, we got to like have music out like ASAP. And so it was like really like hasty songwriting and that sort of thing. Like I still think it's a good record, and like I'm proud of what we did on it, but like we definitely had a lot of growing pains. I think I didn't know anything about releasing music for streaming back then. So we're a lot smarter about how we do things now. But yeah, that whole album was basically just like, we need to get music out like now and have a product.
And we did it quick, quicker than we should have probably.
Yeah, I think probably we went from like nothing to having all the songs, or having the album out in probably like 7 months or something like
I think
that.
I think it might have even been less, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
we still had
incredible.
some of those songs were like old demos from the Phoenix Philosophy, but
Yeah, that's what I was
um,
thinking. I was like,
yeah,
there's no way that you guys were just that fast with it. That's incredibly fast in just a couple of months to put an album together. But the way that you structured it, I do like that there is a journey that it takes you on, regardless of if it's been rushed or not. That last track, the ballad that we get there, I love a ballad at the end of any album. And yeah, I was vibing with that. And then, like I said, you go right into the singles, and it's like, whoa, what a different style, what a different
yeah.
sound. You can hear so much
That
change in that little bit of time.
that song, "The Break," is actually that's kind of a fan favorite. Like we get messages from some of our fans being like, "Why didn't you guys make a video for that song? You ever gonna make a video for that?" It's like that song's like 4 years old now. We're not gonna make a video.
Have a fan
Yeah.
make a lyric video.
Oh, we did do. Or has that been put on the Patreon yet? The one that you and
Yeah, well, yeah, we just did a little live acoustic version of it. Just very raw, not edited or anything. We just upload. We have a Patreon, and so we put some behind the scenes stuff on there for the fans.
Yeah, absolutely. All the exclusive stuff that you guys have available that aren't able to be seen on the regular public stuff. You always want to make sure that your fan base is rewarded with something awesome.
oh yeah,
Speaking of your fan base, what do you guys want your fans to take from your music? Any new fans that you gain or gather from like new singles that you're going to be releasing? What do you want them to take from the music?
man, that's a great question. I mean, I want them to enhance them emotionally in some way, shape, or form. Like if they're having a bad day, it brings them out of that. Or if they're having a great day, it enhances it. Or they associate it to a positive memory. Because I mean, music for me, it's just kind of it's been such a lifesaver in so many different aspects. Like if we could just somehow do that for someone through a song. I mean, there's one guy that a fan of ours that I actually became friends with, and we talk on on Instagram and stuff like that, and um, he was like that song brings me out of bad days, when I'm having a bad. It's like that means the world to me to like know that we are helping someone improve their emotional state. It's that's what I want people to get out of our music, at least from my standpoint, is to give them an emotional release, an emotional celebration, an emotional cohort. Just if we can somehow better someone's mental state and emotional state, that to me is a victory.
Absolutely amazing answer. I was hoping that it would be something about emotion and not be like, yeah, I want you to headbang like a fucking crazy person every time you hear this one song. I want you to go
Yeah.
crazy. But I do love that music can touch your soul, touch your spirit, and change your life. And like you said, the guy that has that kind of day where he's like, this song boosted my confidence, this song boosted my spirits to get through whatever I was going through at that time. That's an incredible thing that I believe really does come from music and only art. Like that's like the part of our brain that just functions that way, and it's very therapeutic.
Oh,
So
huge. Yeah.
beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful.
I'd say like my goal for our music is for us to put out music that people want to come back to and listen to again and again. Whether it doesn't matter if you think it's like a good song for the gym, so you put it on your gym playlist or whatever, or just, it's just something that helps you in a tough time, anything like that. That's how you've truly written a good song, is that, someone hears it and then they're like, oh, I want to listen to that again. Like there's so many songs I feel like where you hear it once and it's like, it's all right, and then you never listen to it again. So
We
yeah.
want to be your heroine. You need to come back daily for your fix or weekly for your fix.
That's
Yeah.
perfect. That's a great analogy. But for the playlist, for being on Spotify, like you were saying, when you first were releasing music, you didn't know like the right time to release it. What changed your perspective on that got you more comfortable with like, okay, we have the new single come out here, we need to make sure that it goes on Spotify at this time so that it can hit the main rock playlist?
Well, I mean, it's not really so much when it comes out. It's just that you need to give Spotify, you need to upload your music to them at least a week in advance to have a chance to get on a playlist.
Oh,
And like we've actually never gotten on a curated Spotify playlist. So it's like it's very, very difficult to get on there, especially if you're an unsigned band.
yeah.
And like, but yeah, to even have a chance, you got to upload it to them at least a week in advance. And that's something I didn't realize we had to do when we put out Erasing Color. So yeah, we're definitely do things well in advance now. Things are a lot more well thought out. But like kind of our release strategy right now is we're going to try to put out something like once a quarter is kind of what we're shooting for right now. We're a little bit behind now, but we'll actually be having an announcement of something soon. We could probably just say it right now. We're going to be putting out a cover actually of the song Star Walking by Lil Nas X.
Oh,
Yep.
that okay. What kind of style are you guys going to be going for with that? Are you going to keep it the same way that it is rhythm wise? Or are you going to change it up and make it more metalized?
You will recognize it, but it's definitely has the failsafe touch.
Awesome.
You'll definitely recognize the song, but it's got some heavy guitar, some, big booming choruses and that sort of thing. We stick to our strengths.
Absolutely.
Yep.
That's sick though. I did not expect that. I'll tell you, I was like, all right, here comes a rock song that you're going to talk about from like the old days, right? No, Lil Nas X, that's perfect. And people are going to be listening to that artist all the time. Maybe people are like just getting into rock or something like that. They're like, oh, I'd like to hear a cover of this song, make it more my kind of style and less of the rap or whatever. I don't even know what genre he's considered anymore. He started out with like the rap country thing or rockabilly, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, he's just like straight pop now.
Okay. He completely changed.
Like I think his music's great. He definitely like. I think when everybody heard Old Town Road, they were like, "This guy is just going to be a one-hit wonder and not going to do anything." And then he just kept putting out hits, and he's like one of the biggest pop stars now. So props to him.
Very true.
I think we've recorded one other cover, but we've played a couple other covers live. And of all the covers in various forms that we've done, this one's my favorite by a landslide. So I'm actually really excited for people to hear it because I think it slaps. I think it's a really good. Not the tutor.
Yeah, we actually just got our master track back from our mastering guy. Shout out to Augustine. Yeah, but I got that. Chad sent, he's like, we got the master, and I put it on in my car, and it just, oh man, definitely passes the car test.
Hell yeah. That's what I like to hear is that you're jamming to it. Full volume, right? Windows closed or windows open?
Well, windows closed.
Windows closed out.
Yeah, too cold, of course. But summer, let's say summertime.
Yeah,
windows always closed, keeping that sound completely condensed in the area. Make sure that hits your eardrums. That's perfect. I'm looking forward to this cover. I'm looking forward to hearing the style that's going to go into it and the progression that you guys have had as a band from that first release all the way until now. I also want to go back. Before this band existed, you guys were in the other band. How was it getting comfortable with that? I'm guessing was your first band, Cow. And Chad, you said this was like one of your many bands that you've been in.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it's funny. Kyle is kind of my ride or die. Like he doesn't know this, but he's like going to be a part of every musical project I'm a part of. Whether he knows
you tell me that every time, Chad.
It's true. But no. So me and Kyle actually met 2000. What? I don't even remember anymore.
I think it was 2015.
2015 from a Craigslist post from a musician's wanted ad. I think that was what, your second or third band ever or something like that?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've been playing guitar since I was in high school, so over 15, 16 years now or something. My first band I actually ever was in, first rock band, was a youth group, Christian rock band at my church. And awesome. Then I played in like a 90s and 2000s pop punk cover band in college. And then when I graduated college in 2014, I moved to the Twin Cities, and then I was looking for a band, and then eventually ran into Chad's project at the time. It was called the X Project. And so tried out for that band and joined it. Like they liked me. And then we played a couple shows, but then things kind of fell apart. But then me and Chad stayed in touch, and we actually started another side project together called Four Chord Story, which is like acoustic chill kind of stuff.
Cool.
And we still do that too. But eventually Chad joined this band, the Phoenix Philosophy, on drums. Like he actually played bass in the X project, but they needed a drummer, so he also plays drums. So joined as the drummer, and then their bass player quit, and so I joined as the bass player in that band.
No, I was
Yeah.
trying to find a way to get Kyle into the band in some way, shape, or form because I wanted to be in the band with him again. So when bass player left, I was like, I know a guy. I didn't even know. Yeah, I was like, I know someone. And then,
Yeah.
that was that. Yeah.
That's an awesome connection. And you guys have been friends from Craigslist way back in time, and
Yeah.
you're still here rocking out with the same band and loving what you do.
Yep.
You said that you originally started with a youth group, Kyle. And how was like the transition from Christian stage to secular stage the first time?
Well, I mean, we weren't tucked away in a corner, or when we're out on like a normal stage. Cause like, yeah, back when I was in Christian youth group band, like, yeah, we were like tucked away in this corner behind like all these like giant row of music stands and stuff. So like nobody could see us and wasn't paying attention anyway.
Don't look at the band.
And
They're
then-
not important. They're just playing. They weren't letting you play anything that was considered heavy at the time, right?
Yeah. Me and the other guitar player in the band, we would sit there and play like Devil Wears Prada riffs and stuff, and then be like, "Well, why can't we play the Devil Wears Prada? They're a Christian band."
Why can't we throw on some impending doom for this?
Yeah, why can't we play August Burns Red? Like, that's the Christian music everybody wants.
Absolutely. Yeah, they had no
Yeah.
idea how much that would impact all of the believers, That's awesome. So for the first show out of that territory, were you more excited, more nervous to get on stage, bigger crowd?
Yeah, I had after that I went to like my college band, and like I remember back then I had like a ton of nervous energy. Like I can't even watch some of the old like videos we have of that because it's just cringe. And then like the first like show we played at like an actual like bar was in Chad's band, the X Project. That was the first show I'd ever played, like not at my college or school or church or something like that. So
Gotcha.
yeah, but yeah, it wasn't weird,
Yeah,
Oh,
even though it was
yeah.
out of your comfort zone from like those safer areas, you could say, having a bar show, that's pretty
Yeah.
sick. And Chad, for you, I want to make sure that you can explain your story as well, knowing that you've been in so many bands and stuff like that. I love the experience. It's so sick.
Yeah, oddly enough, like my first band, ironically, that I was in was a Christian rock band through my church, which is I don't know if there's a weird parallel there, but that was where I first kind of cut my teeth in terms of playing with bands. And then I was in a punk band for a long time through high school, and then in college I played in a metal band for several years. Then I played in a punk band, and I played in like this weird kind of like not weird, but like alternative, like kind of I don't know what the hell we'd call this. But it was like an alternative band. It was fun, and then I moved out to Minnesota and played in quite a few different stuff. I joined a metal band right away. Played in another punk band. Played in a couple rock bands. Played in like an acoustic, folky kind of band. Man, and I did a lot of filling work for a while. So I was kind of tired of being in bands and all the politics and bullshit that kind of went along with that. So I was just like, I just kind of want to fill in. So I just put the word out there for a couple years and was just doing filling work for a while. And then I got the itch to play again, and that's where like the X Project came in, where I met Kyle, and just evolved from there. So just a hodgepodge of stuff,
That's awesome.
Mainly heavier things, and different instruments. I mean, I would go back and forth between playing bass and guitar for a while, then drums for a while. Then X Project came along, and that's where me and Kyle, he responded to the ad, and we were playing with some other players, and it was a fun project, but it kind of it ran its course, and I was kind of a turd and kind of a power hog on that one because it was my baby, and I learned a good lesson from that band in terms of moving forward. But then, yeah, I was in a cover, like a '90s cover band for a short period of time. We never played, but we just got together.
Oh yeah, I was in that too.
Yeah, Kyle was in
Yep.
that too with me.
Wait, you
Um,
never played?
no, well, it was. I think there was just miscommunication. Like me and Kyle wanted to go out and gig, and the other guys just were thinking of like, this is a fun get together Sunday drinking event. And me and Kyle were like, no, we kind of want to play out. And so it was just,
Yeah.
whatever. It was fun.
Yeah.
And then I ended up joining the Phoenix Philosophy because I knew the bassist because I recorded his other band's project, and it went from a fill-in gig for a couple shows to a full-time gig. And then obviously the bass player left, and we got Kyle on board, and then we played a good chunk of shows and had fun with that. And that was actually the first time I had been drumming in a band for probably 8 years. So it was definitely it'd been a while since I've been drumming, and now all I do is drum,
Yeah.
which is kind of ironic. And then yeah, we parted ways with our other member at the time, and the typical band. What's the cliche? See creative differences, as we will put it.
the
Uh,
most common thing you see, yeah.
yeah,
Creative differences.
Oh,
I think
man.
Kyle was right. I literally think it was the next day. We're like, "Fuck, we still want to make music. Let's start a new band." Okay, and so we just and thus the Failsafe was born.
Awesome. That's the best birth, especially because you guys were ready right away. Some
Yeah.
bands are like, oh, how are we gonna get over this? But now you're like, let's go, let's get this done. I want to talk about your 8-year period. You said that you were not drumming. How did it feel? Were you a little bit rusty to it?
Oh
Jumped
God,
it
yeah.
in?
Yeah, no, I'm
Okay.
still rusty. Um, no, it's yeah, because I've been playing primarily at the time. I was a bassist and then would play guitar occasionally, but bass is probably if I had to pick a main instrument for me, I would probably say bass. Like I don't necessarily consider myself a drummer. I can drum, but I like bass is more I think for me my favorite to play. Um, if I had to pick if someone was holding a gun to my head. Not to say I don't love drums. I fucking love drumming. I love hitting the drums. I love performing as a drummer. But if I had to pick a favorite, like barrel of mouth or barrel of gun in mouth, I would probably say bass.
That's excellent. You actually have, the first thought is, okay, what instrument would I have at that point? And you're naturally comfortable more with the bass.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
Sick. All right. And Cal, I want to talk about your instrument experience. What got you into guitar? And if you say Metallica, I will be so happy because I mean, like who isn't getting into guitar from Metallica to this day? They're still important, which is an incredible thing.
Well, it's not exactly Metallica. I mean, I guess it's part of it, but well, I actually originally my first instrument I ever learned was piano, and I started taking lessons when I was 5, and I absolutely hated it. Yeah, and my mom forced me to keep taking lessons for like 5 years, and I never wanted to practice because I didn't like the music I was playing. Like it was just like these shit songs and these like learning books, like Mary Had a Little Lamb, whatever the fuck, and like I don't want to play that. And so eventually she let me quit, and then I didn't really like do anything for a few years. But then Guitar Hero came out, and I was like obsessed with that game. I was so good. I could play like all the songs on expert and get 100% on expert and that kind of thing. And like eventually I was just like, and that was really kind of what introduced me to like a lot of like different rock and metal bands, and made me really just kind of love the music. And then I eventually convinced my mom to give me a guitar. Yeah, it just kind of took off from there. Like I had found like the music that I love, so I had a lot more motivation to learn and get good at guitar. And so yeah, that's how I got my start.
Speaking of that time where you were not playing piano and you were like, I don't want to play these boring Mary Had a Little Lamb songs. You were forced to play recorder as well, right?
Yeah, I think I actually played clarinet too. I forgot to mention. I think I started that in 5th grade. And in my 5th grade, I went to like a really small like Christian elementary school, and there was me and one other dude, and that was the people that were in 5th grade. And so
Oh my
like
God.
yeah, and so he played saxophone and I played clarinet because Squidward played it on SpongeBob.
Don't lie.
Yeah.
Is that really the
True
reason?
story. Yep.
Oh, that's so awesome.
But then I found out when I went to sixth grade, I went to public school, that clarinet was a girl instrument. And so I was the only dude that played it, and I got bullied relentlessly for it. And then I didn't like playing it anyway, so I just quit.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to go into Guitar Hero. First of all, what is your favorite Guitar Hero game?
Honestly, I prefer Rock Band to Guitar Hero in general, but I'd say probably the one I got into the most was probably Guitar Hero 2. That's probably my favorite, like out of any of the Guitar Hero games.
All right.
Yeah.
I was expecting Legends of Rock because everybody like got into
Guitar
Hero
Hero
3.
3. That one was good too. But that wasn't the one that like really like hooked me.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Yeah, the first one I had was Aerosmith, the greatest hits or whatever.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That was cool.
They had Guitar Hero Metallica, and I think they did a few. I know they had Green Day Rock Band.
They had Lego Rock Band. They were so smart.
AC/DC Rock Band too. I think. Yeah.
With Guitar Hero 3 for me, I was obsessed with the song Cliffs of Dover. I believe that was the one that played on most of the main menu. And for the longest time, I've been wondering if any guitarist can play it as perfectly. I watched Cole Rowland and a couple other people attempt it, and I'm just like, can you do that?
Yeah, I actually funny story. I've actually performed at the State Fair here in Minnesota talent show. And one of the years I actually played that song, Close to Dover.
No way.
Yeah. I think there's a video out there of me actually playing it when I was like 19 on YouTube. Like it's such a shit quality video, but I like filmed it and put it up there because I was auditioning for like a contest to like win a pedal or something, guitar pedal.
Hey, that's awesome. Did you win it?
No.
No.
I did not. I actually have a YouTube channel where I put like cover videos and stuff, and I usually put like guitar tabs on there too, so that people can learn how to play the song while they're watching the video. And I was gonna do Cliffs of Dover, but then there's this guy called Mr. Tabs. He has this really big YouTube channel, and he has like this flawless cover of it, and like with the perfect tabs and everything. I was like, there's no way I can do a better job than that guy. So I just didn't do it.
Got it. Yeah. Some people like the Do and all these other guys, like they come out of nowhere and they're just masters of the instruments they're attempting to play. And I don't know how that is because most of them are like younger than me, younger than all of us. And I'm like, this is not fair, man. Like, what is the future going to look like when all these guys just pick up the instrument and they're like, I can do everything easily. No problem.
Yeah, man, YouTube's a crazy place, great players out there.
Speaking of YouTube, let's plug your channel because you were saying that you have covers that are coming up on there. I want to make sure that everybody that loves your guitar work on the band's tracks are able to see your own awesome solo talents as well.
Yeah, so my YouTube channel is it's just my first and last name, Kyle Thomas, all one word, and then 2528. So
yeah, that's YouTube's new stupid thing that they added recently, where they took all of the usernames from the time that they were created, and they decided to go back to the default for some reason. And I was like, wait, why? So I started seeing that because I was going through all my reactions, and I was looking at it, I was like, none of these artists' names are showing up anymore. These are just the codes for their name according to the original YouTube like digital set. I was like, this is very annoying. So yeah, Kyle Thomas, I will be looking it up, and I will put that definitely in the description down below for anybody listening or watching right now. Let's go into the next question that I have for you. Have you toured with any artists so far that you would recommend to other people that you're like, there's something really special here that we personally would recommend to our fans?
Heartsick. Go watch Heartsick. They are from Michigan. No.
Yeah, Lansing, Michigan. Yeah.
They are so damn entertaining live, and they are just such kind dudes. We toured with them on like our first, kind of big boy tour, and then we played another show with them at a festival. But like, I talk to their singer quite frequently. I talk to their drummer quite frequently, and they are just the kindest of kind. One of the hardest working bands I've ever met. and they're just live are just Alfonso, their frontman, is just a beast.
Yeah, they have like
live.
some of the best stage presence I've ever seen.
Yeah.
You know, they go hard.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Are they younger? Are they around the same
No,
age?
they're older dudes.
Yeah,
They're in
they've
their
been
like
around for a hot
40s.
minute,
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yep.
Yeah, they definitely know what they're doing then.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
great. They're called Heartsick for anybody that wanted to check them out.
Yeah, they're kind of like a new metal, I would say. This is probably their genre. Yeah.
Totally, I'm into that.
Yeah. Yep.
Awesome. What has been your favorite like venue to play at so far with all the places you've been able to? I know you're looking forward to Wisconsin and Ohio, you said.
Yeah, there's been a few pretty
Yeah.
awesome ones. Pierre's out in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Yeah.
That's been one of my favorites. That's definitely one of the biggest venues we played. We actually opened for Hinder there a couple years ago.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's definitely, we were playing in front of probably 500 people that night, so that was a good show for us.
Definitely. Yeah.
What else?
I'm so bad at remembering venues' names. I just remember the show, but I forget the venue.
Do you remember the city?
No.
Oh man! Oh, you remember this one? When we played in Little Rock, Arkansas. The like the chicken tender, the chicken tender joint.
Yeah.
It was like it was Sticky's Rock and Roll Chicken joint or something. Like it was like this combination chicken restaurant and rock venue, and like their chicken tenders were lit. They were so good. Yeah.
What an incredible thing to think about.
Yeah.
Getting food at a like small venue concert.
Yeah. It's like a restaurant with a stage.
Restaurant with a stage. That's sick.
Yeah.
And you guys had a lot of fun there. Did you have a good turnout?
No. But
no.
We had fun. The turnout wasn't great because I think it was like a Tuesday night or something stupid like that. Like not a good show night.
Yeah.
But Jesse had family there actually for that show, because I think it was that show, wasn't it? Like
he had family come up. Yeah.
And so that was, they bought us dinner, which was super nice. But like that even though we didn't play to like a ton of people, like the chicken tenders made that night worth it. Like they were next level chicken tenders.
Damn.
Yeah. And then there was the Rail Club, which was in Fort Worth, Texas.
Oh geez.
That was we opened for the band Upon a Burning Body at that show.
Oh my god. Isn't that deathcore?
Yeah, they're like a deathcore band.
Oh my god.
I mean, well, this is the tour we were doing with a band called A Killer's Confession, and that's another. They're also a good band that people should check out.
Yeah,
and another like kind of new metal, hard rock sort of band. Their front man Waylon Revis used to be the front man of Mushroom Head.
Oh my gosh! You're throwing out huge names. You already said Hinder, Upon a Burning Body, Mushroom Head. That's huge.
Yeah. But going back to that show where we opened for Upon a Burning Body, that venue was packed, and it was probably over 1,000 people in there.
That was a fun, yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Was it like all one like floor? Like was it multiple
levels?
It was
just all floor space.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
That's a lot of people. That's a lot of bodies.
Yeah.
Everyone was hot and stinky and sweaty and having a good
time. Big mosh pit.
Oh yeah.
I'd imagine it's a metal show.
Yeah.
But I went to this artist. I wanted to see Seraphim for the longest time. They're a band from Michigan as well. Their producer Lee Albrecht, he's growing on YouTube and stuff like that. Very, very technical, and he loves bass drops and stuff like that. But regardless, I went to this tiny little venue near me. I'm telling you, the room was probably as big as the room I'm sitting in right now. And I'm standing with all these like super deathcore type of people with my fiance. And Seraphim is the only melodic band besides like Hollow Front and the main act, which was Lauren Babbitt's band, Red Handed Denial. So we have deathcore with all the Chicago local bands that showed up. and like everyone's going nuts, and the moshing is crazy, and this is a really small area, so of course hot, sweaty, smelly, all of that. But then Seraphim comes out, and their first song has like a singing part, and the people just like died. Everyone didn't care. I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
What do you mean you don't want to hear music at the music show? Like what is going on? So how did that feel like when you guys were opening for Upon a Burning Body? Did you guys have a good crowd that was like getting into it and stuff like that? Was there more screaming that you guys added for that show?
No, we didn't change up our set. I mean, we were one of the openers, and so like the crowds were kind of piling in as we were playing. But like,
Yep.
From where we started first song to where we ended at the end of our set, I mean, there was a good chunk of people there, and they were into it. I mean, it was definitely, we were one of the lighter bands on a heavier show.
I think we sold a decent amount of merch at that show. We definitely had quite a few people come back to the table and be like, "Hey, I liked your stuff and whatnot." So
Awesome.
it was a good time, even though it was most of the bands were heavier, but like the band we were on tour with was pretty similar to our style too. So it's like, and then they like basically jumped on too. So yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, that's a good variety for everybody, rock and metal fans alike, all enjoying whatever they're going for. But that's great that you guys were keeping their attention and getting them more hyped as they went on. And of course, having a good night on the merch table, that's what matters most, right? You guys are looking forward to that as an independent band, and I'm happy for you guys. Also, I want to know, how do I get your merch? Because I want like everything.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, we have an online merch store at our website. We are the failsafe.com, all one word. We have our merch page is on there, and you can just, order whatever you want.
Perfect. You guys got any snapback hats or anything like that?
We do, yeah. We've got snapbacks and dad hats. So
gotta love the dad caps. What is your favorite thing to do in your free time as a band? Now, I didn't know before that you guys were in different states, so that changes things. But you guys like all jump on online gaming?
Not really, but we sometimes when we have downtime out on tour, we like to go bowling.
So,
yeah.
That's awesome. Anybody like really, really good at it? Professionally trained, anything like that?
I think Jesse's easily the best. He's not a pro, but
no, but he's I mean, trust me, the bowling talent level in this band is really not there.
Yeah. So I can't speak for Devin because we haven't played with him yet, but
true. But at least between me, Kyle, and Jesse, it's not like either of us are good. Jesse's just less crappy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are using bumpers?
No, not that bad. But
okay, good.
No,
I mean, it's a good day. If it's a good game for me, if I score over 100. So.
That's the same.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But I mean, when we all were living in the same town, like we would get together. We'd go out to go grab beers or dinner after practice, or hang out, or do stuff. So I mean, there was that. The camaraderie was never a question. We're all friends. And even if this band didn't exist, we would be friends. And if the band for some reason fails to exist, we'll still be friends. So there is that level of camaraderie there. That's that's great. And just unfortunately, well, I don't want to say unfortunately, because Jesse had his reasons for leaving, and I completely respect it. And he's pulled his weight tenfold, to keep this band going and alive, even being at a distance. And now with Devin being, at a distance as well, he's been pulling his weight huge too in terms of what he's done. So it's a new normal, but it's the normal, and it's not stopping us by any means.
Yeah, and you also have Wii bowling available just in case.
Dude, okay. So when the Wii first came out, I got one, and me and my buddy played Wii tennis till like 4 a.m. Fuck my life. My arm was sore for like a week because we were just going ham, just
full swinging,
just going off till and I'm not even kidding you. Like I hurt for like at least a week.
Did you at least have the strap on? So not the strap on. Did you have it on your wrist?
Yeah. I've heard horror stories and seen pictures of remotes and screens from like them slipping out of hand. So the strap was mandatory. But no, I distinctly remember because we were both evenly matched, and he would win one, then I would win one. It was ridiculous. But yeah, we were. I just distinctly remember how sore I was after playing that thing for like 12 hours.
Oh my gosh, 12 hours straight. That's insane.
We were just
they get some tennis elbow from that shit.
Body. Yeah, it was ridiculous.
With the bowling stuff, I was gonna go back. You guys were saying that Jesse was like your favorite. I was expecting him to be like the one that brings in his own bag. He's like airing off his hands, getting all ready, putting his gloves on, like, all right, here we go.
No, he's not that dude, but he's definitely the more talented bowler, no question.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And you guys like having time together, which is so nice to hear. There's so many bands where it's like we deal with each other, but we're just there to make the music. We have a passion for the music, but we're not like best friends in the whole wide world. It's so nice to hear that you guys are friends, like you said, regardless of if you were in a band or not, you would all chill together. And like that's an incredible thing. Some bands out there have so much hardships that they deal with, and they just can't get over that, and they usually hold things against each other. What keeps you guys so close together?
I mean, I think part of it is just openness and communication. Like if I'm miffed, I'll tell you I'm miffed, or if someone thinks I'm miffed, they'll bring it up and then we'll talk about it. And I just think we all kind of have thick skin, and we're like, I think we're just good at letting stuff kind of, be real, and, not afraid to express our opinions. And yeah, I mean, because being in a band is like you're married to like four other people, or whatever your band makeup is. I mean, it is a relationship. It is. And just like any relationship, there's got to be communication, trust, and all that stuff. And I just feel like we have those elements. So I don't know.
Yeah, that we all are just super passionate about the project, and we're all in 100% on it. And then we got Devin in the band, who's also on the same page with the rest of us now, super motivated, really working hard to make it work. And we're always chatting. The band chat's just flying with messages back and forth all the time. So
the band messages are 70% business and then 30% just stupid memes that I don't understand.
That's my fault mainly. I'm the like resident memester in the band. So yeah.
There's always one. I respect everybody that wants to perform and consistently put out new things for their audiences. So I'm going to go through the music and my journey that I had through your discography, and I hope that this doesn't bring us all the way to the end, but regardless, your first album, like I said, the structure of it was really cool. I like having the ballad at the end. There were some definite things for production wise where I was like, I wasn't going to say it to you guys, but you said that it was more rushed. So I will say that it did seem a little rushed. I heard some like kick drums that were a little bit louder, a little bit of snare that was a little bit louder. And I was like, is it just my headphones, or is that the part of the mix? And then there's the vocals that have changed so much over time as well. And I really like that the harmonies were added after that album, like on Remind Me I'm Alive. There is an incredible harmony there on the chorus, especially. Plus, I love the scream for the bridge. We need to have something that really says this is who we are. And I felt like that song was like your breakaway kind of song. Also, the song Break, or what was it called?
The Break, yeah.
Break was on
it Until I Break?
Until I Break. That's it. The one that I
reacted to. I was thinking of some different song. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no worries. And the other one here that I reacted to, the most recent, Burn It to the Ground, before Ghost of You came out, that was excellent too. Like this is a lot of great music that's made for people that are just excited. Like you said, you want to have them have a good time, but you're also giving an emotional connection. I was listening to this easily. I could listen to the same song over and over. There's nothing about this that seems like it would be fatiguing you or causing you any like, oh man, I don't know if I have the time for this. Like as soon as I got through the discography the first time, I was like, I want to go through it again. I got through a couple of YouTube videos and I was like, let me go back into the discography. And I was like, this is like a fresh start. This feels so good. Aww. And if you guys see your music in that way, I hope that you do, because honestly, you guys are putting so much passion, so much time, so much love into your craft. And I really do respect and I love what you guys are as a band as a whole. And I'm happy to support you in every single way that I can.
Well, it's a situation like this that's why we do it. I mean, because like obviously it's affected you, and you want to talk to us and help us, promote us and help us get out there. And that's a huge thing, man. Like we appreciate that you appreciate that we, it's like a whole cyclical thing. And it's just like, that's awesome. I love that. That's so cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Really appreciate you having us on here. Enjoyed talking to you for sure.
You guys are really cool dudes, and I want to meet the other guys as well sometime in the future. Can I get a ballpark time dates that it's going to be that you're dropping the next that cover at least?
Oh yeah, it should be early April, I think. But anybody listening to this, whenever this comes out, it's going to be available on our Patreon. If you go, we have a VIP section where we drop all our music early on for early access to anybody who signs up for the VIP package.
Hell yeah. And that all will be in the links in the description down below. Thanks again, Kyle and Chad. And I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, dude. I was like,
you got it good that last time. So
all right, perfect. Thanks again for joining me. All of you guys have an awesome day and stay safe out there. Peace.
Thank you for tuning in to the Media Man Dan podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, feel free to like and subscribe. Thanks for listening, have an awesome day, and stay safe out there. Peace.